Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the news behind the news with Rav Kintav on Mix 94.7 FM. And thank you for joining me on today's program. This afternoon, I have an all-star here with me, the legendary Mr. Omar Beauperthuy. Good afternoon to you, Omar. Thanks for being on the program.
Good afternoon, Rav. Thanks for having me here.
I've heard about you since I was in high school.
That's good things or bad things?
No, good things, good things. As far as, I know you went to academy, and I went to academy too. And I heard about, there's this St. Martin guy who is up in the U.S. playing college ball and stuff. And then recently I had Beauperthuy, who I went to school with. He had a program because he's playing ball as well professionally in Europe and stuff. And basically, I was like, whoa, do we have any, professional ball players? And it missed me because we actually did and do, but I think maybe some of the other sports have kind of taken the lead that basketball, I guess now, part of the reason why you're here too is to talk about, what's being done to push it further, to put things on a higher level. And so, of course, I want you to share your story of your journey and then what you're doing now. But before we get into all of that, if you just share with us a couple of things about yourself, tell us about yourself.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Omar Beauperthuy, born and raised in St. Martin. Started playing basketball, I want to say, like at the age of 10, 11 years old, where one of my older cousins would always, before passing my house, he would always stop by, tell my mother, hey, we're going taking him. At a point, some days I didn't like it, but being that he's an older cousin, you just gotta listen, So I developed a love for it, and then afterwards, it basically just took off from there. Started off playing district basketball. That's 15 and under, I believe, and then they started putting me in the upper class level for my age, even though I was younger than everybody else. So
was it because you was also taller than everybody else?
Yes. They just, at a given moment, they just like toss you in the fire.
At that time, you remember around what,
I would say like 14.
How tall were you at that time, if you remember?
Maybe like 6'4".
Whoa. And how tall are you now?
They list me at 6'8".
Okay.
They list me at 6'8". College, they list me at 6'8" in the U.S.
Wow.
Even in Europe, they list me at 6'8". Let me see. And then from there, I was, selected to represent St. Martin on the national team at 14. And then also the Netherlands Antilles, when it existed, to play in the Kingdom Games.
That's cool.
So it was really a great experience for me, that shock of seeing different levels of basketball. Afterwards, I left to go to school in Florida at Impact Basketball Academy, where that really was something that was just, mind-blowing in regards to just the breakdown. I just thought that basketball was just, you run up and down, and exactly. You used to throw the ball. To this day, my mother still say, throw the ball. She don't say shoot the ball, she say throw the ball. But they taught me how, with nutrition, what you put in your body, the do's and the does nots, how to get everything, all the energy that you need to perform at a high rate. So after there, I ended up signing a scholarship to Hillsborough Community College in Tampa, Florida. Played there 2 years. After that, I received my associates in business management. And this is where it gets a little tricky. Everyone sees my size, my frame, and there's like, you play football? I was like, no, I don't play football. But coming out of high school, I had an offer to Western Kentucky and UConn.
True.
Yeah, for football. I chose to go community college. So even my high school coach and my junior college coach, they kept always in close contact. And then one day in practice, my coach was like, Omar, come here. He said, do me a favor. Don't tell nobody you passed up a 4-year university for community college. He's like, I appreciate you here. you're a hell of a kid. I said, but coach, I never played football. Where I'm from, there's no football. You know, so
American football.
Yeah, American football to be exact. So afterwards, after I graduated there, my coach was back in my ear. He said, you should try it out. So I went on 2 visits, the University of Miami and South Florida, because I was already in Tampa. Mm-hmm. South Florida processed my paperwork the quickest. I ended up going there afterwards. But it took me 2 days out on the football field, and I was like, this is not for me. You know, so
you really wasn't.
No, I finished out.
You didn't double think about it even.
So, basically, what happened was finish out the semester since I was international, and I ended up working out at my old school. Later that summer, I signed a scholarship, Division I, also to Alcorn State in Mississippi. So went out there. I was more comfortable with basketball, what I love, but was a different culture shock compared to Florida. Mississippi and Florida is 2 different things.
What stood out to you most?
It was country. It was country. Everything is fried this, fried that, you know. I come from Florida where, you know, I go to Chipotle if I'm hungry, you know, eating healthy, but this is all that they had out there. So it's like you had to blend in. But it was just killing my body inside. It was a up and down year for me, because coming from starting being a captain on my college team, being a captain of in prep school, mm-hmm. you know, then it started off as, okay, you coming off the bench, contributing. And then when the coach got fired, my minutes just dropped. I didn't play again. When season started, like I'm playing all the big teams, the Texas mm-hmm. games on ESPN. And then when we started our conference with assistant coach, nothing. Oh. And then when it was the playoffs, then he started to play me again. I'm like, really? You know, so it really had me, like, at some points a little depressed. You know, every day, you know, talk to my mom, you know, talk to both parents. And it was like, just stick it out, you know, things will be better.
Did you ever communicate that to him, the coach?
Oh, yeah.
What was his response like?
Well, the assistant coach that took over, he's like, yeah, you know, just be ready. And I understand that at that level, there's a lot of people that can play, but it's the rotation.
Yeah.
You know, how it is in college, you have 12 guys on, 15 you could have on a team. Mm. Yeah, 12 could be on scholarship. So it's like you're going to have, and even with the 12, coach is only going with a 8-man rotation, 7 to 8 people, because you want that, you know, the reps and everything to coexist with each other. So it was rough. After I asked to transfer, I wanted to go back to Florida, so I ended up signing with NAIA school in Florida. Crazy part is I never played my senior year. Mm. But, you know, I thank the coach to this day because he allowed me to graduate to get my bachelor's. You know?
Because it was part of your scholarship.
Yeah. The education is must. If you're doing what you're supposed to do, you know, and this is something that when talking to the kids in this current day, you know, I always tell them, I say, you got to take your business in the classroom, because I've seen the best, you know, I've seen the good, bad, and the ugly in regards to the freshman year of college. It's always, like I tell them, it's always the toughest year. You're away from home, and with that much freedom,
you could get lost in the sauce.
Lost in the sauce, mm-hmm. plane ticket home. I've seen kids don't last their first semester because it's like
you couldn't bear
the attention. Yeah, you're an athlete, so you're gonna have, you know, the girls, everybody, down to your professors. They want to know you.
Yeah, because and the thing is, especially particularly in the U.S., the sports culture is heavy. Like, you know, athletes, Be an athlete.
Of course.
It's automatic stardom. Even if it's in a little college, it's automatic stardom because they just it's like it ties into their national identity to a extent.
That's exactly it.
Sports on a heavy level for sure.
Like I tell kids, I said, the academic person who's on academic scholarship, who would have a 4.0 GPA, they can't register for class before me. Athletes get first preference. So we get to register, 3 weeks prior? They get to register a week prior. So the athletes fill up the classes first. So we always get, the best professors. We get that first preference.
Yeah.
So it is something that, like I tell kids, enjoy the moment. I said, but if you're doing something that's taken away from the classroom and on the court or whatever specific sport that you're doing, you got to leave that alone.
Yeah, because you have to be responsible.
Yeah. I said, I don't want to come off as a parent to you because, I went to school. So I've seen it, lived it. But at the same time, too, you got to know what's most important.
Yeah, as the old folks that say fun does bring bun.
At the back of my mind, I always think I definitely can't, I don't want to embarrass my family and stuff like that. So, just took care of business.
Yeah.
After I graduated, I ended up going to the UK.
Okay.
Yeah, played a little bit on circuit out there. Came back home, and then I went out to to Ireland to play in the Super League. So it was, an interesting experience there.
What would you detail the difference in playing in the US and in Europe?
US is more athletic. Europe is more fundamental aspect. I saw that especially when I was in Italy, in Casino, Italy, playing, seeing guys that built like sluggish or, like tall, but they could shoot the ball. The spacing is incredible. But when it comes to athleticism, that's the US. So it's more
the explosiveness and
correct. Yeah. So it's like IQ-wise, you want to understand and develop everything from the European aspect. When it comes to athletics, you want, to be out there. But the good thing about it is that, another thing that I tell kids, when you play in the U.S., or even kids, everyone out here, the first thing on their mind is they got to play Division I. They got to play Division I, And
because it gives you a closer shot to the big leagues.
Which is true. I said, but talent, if you talent, people gonna find you. If you talented, people gonna find you. I personally, like I said, the best thing that coming from Little St. Martin is that we all carry a Dutch passport, Dutch European passport. So teams from away, they like that you played in the U.S., regardless of what level it is. And they'll say, okay, you have an EU passport. Okay, I could bring you in, at least give you a tryout. And even if they want to sign you to their team, for example, every team has to bring in like an import tax. You got to pay import tax on a player. So import tax would be like on me would be 1,500 euros. Compared to a non-EU person, like an American player that wants to get over there, is like, what, 35 to 4,500.
So they get you on discount.
Yeah, basically. And there's like, even when I was in the Super League in Ireland, they had this rule which only 2 Americans could be on the team.
True, to ensure that.
No, only 2 on the team. 1 could be on the court at a time.
Oh, wow.
So, like, even with me, the coach was like, we love it. We love you, man. He's like, you went to school in the U.S., and you got EU passport, so you could stay on the court.
2 in 1.
Like, when I was out there, one coach was like, the opposite team. It's like, there's 2 Americans on the team. They play. I said, no.
Pull out that
they wanted to see. They wanted to see, and it was like, at the end, he was like, he was still mind-boggled because when I send my stuff to the team has me where they have my 2 passports, my Dutch and my French passport. So it's like, how it is he has 2 passports, 2 European passports. You know, so
that's interesting. You must imagine though.
yeah. So that there, it was very, you know.
It's like a double whammy.
Yeah. So, but what was interesting about that out there too, in the free time, they would ask like, hey, would you give some pointers to these kids, you know? I was like, sure, no problem. But I was doing it a little bit while I was here because whenever I return home from college, I always wanted to work out. And as the issue is, and I think every student athlete that goes away and they come back home, they face the same thing, is that there's no way to play. There's no way to train. Yeah,
the facility is not what you end up being used to.
It's not what you being used to, but also the playing style. You know, we can't move further as a country playing the same way that we're playing.
Can you break that down?
Okay, so in regards to moving further, advancing, if you drive around right now, well, in the evening, and you see how people play on the island, right? The older generation play a 2-3 zone matchup. You know, you can't do nothing with that. When coaches call me, hey Omar, if these guys can't guard man to man, what's the purpose of me coming to St. Martin? What's the purpose of me coming to your island? So I don't even teach zone defense. None of it at all. Because the rest of the world is playing man to man only. And as like I had to tell the kids, you want to get a scholarship for school, high school, college, you got to play man to man. You want to make money from off of this game, you got to be able to play man to man. You know, so only the ignorant people will tell you, well, it's a St. Martin ball we playing. Yeah, St. Martin ball just stays right here and it dies off.
And it's like you appreciate the start. There's nothing wrong with moving further, especially because we keep saying that we want ambassadors, we want sports ambassadors, we want to put St. Martin on the map. But then you got to be part of the global chain.
Correct.
And then then you put St. Martin on the map.
Yeah. So when it comes to that, I think that dynamic needs to be changed. I get it. Old dogs can't change. You can't save those. But if they want to play recreationally, so be it.
Yeah,
but we got to separate. We have to separate the kids them from the older men, because it's killing the community. By FIBA by law, no child supposed to be playing zone defense until after 15 years old.
Wow.
So we is like, what are we doing? You know, what exactly are we doing? So like when you hear, I listen to with people talk like basketball, and I don't engage in it. I just stay in my own zone. But I do wish that there was other people out there doing it, because I always tell parents, you know, I'm one person. When there's meetings, basketball meetings, hey, it's only me. I think that everybody that has a organization, association on the Dutch side, they should also start dealing with player development also.
Yeah, because that is that sort of coordination is necessary, even in terms of certification and training of referees.
Correct.
Because again, we have our St. Martin way of doing things. And I think it's okay to maintain it from a cultural perspective, you know. You can say this is how we play ball. But when you're looking to play ball professionally, and we say we want to enhance our sports industry, then we need to have all our ducks in a row, basically.
You see, not cutting you off with that. You said in regards to playing professionally, I never, like, for example, a parent will come to me and say, hey, I want to send up my child. You think my child could play in the NBA? Excuse me? You know, like, the goal for me is not for your child to, say, reach the NBA. Let's take this thing in steps. How about we change a child's life by giving them an education? You know?
I appreciate that, yeah.
Yeah, so because how I look at it...
Making it more holistic opposed to just a performative...
No, but, and I look at, from my perspective, how I look at it is that you add education to yourself, to anybody, it adds value to your life.
Yes.
It makes you less likely to do silly stuff, commit crimes and stuff. You know, like, and I had to tell kids and parents, I said, for me standing and talking to you right now, I said, if anybody had told me 10 or 15 years ago that I'll have a master's degree today, I'll say, I see you joking, you know? But, you know, I saw why I needed to get it.
And it's in what?
The master's in sports management. So okay, the associates and bachelors in business management.
Nice.
Business management. So I just see the need for it like that. At the end, because I've also seen the bad, not necessarily bad side, the other side of the sports of which I have teammates that one bad injury, broken leg, they can't play no more. You know, what are you going to do now?
Yeah.
You're a man. How are you going to provide for your family?
And even with that, I like that's actually a question I had for you. I guess, and that I have, I'll stick with it in terms of, can you, because, you know, when people think about sports sometimes, especially when children express that they want to be involved in sports, it's like, okay, you can play sports, but remember, this is a hobby. This is a side thing. This ain't no official, you know, like, you have to get your education. But then there's educational opportunities in sports.
Yeah,
and more so, one of the things I want you, if you can also share, is even the different career options that exist in the sports industry, because, you know, it's beyond just being the athlete itself.
Correct.
There's different elements to it.
In regards to the different things that can open up through sports, from being a physical therapist to just management, I think that's one thing here that, because we haven't been able to see differently, exposed to, and I ain't talking about we going Anguilla, Stacia, Sabre right there. We're talking about seeing countries that how they operate on a sports level. Then people would say, well, management-wise, this is how we should do things. There was even, for simple things, for example, of you got a kids event taking place. And like I guess everyone heard about it, in which the event that took place last week, Friday, we had a fight or something last like that.
I think, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I do feel that, and as I always keep bringing it up, and I know I'm the bad guy when I bring it up, but you deal with kids. I don't feel that alcohol should be sold
at the event.
At the event when you're dealing with kids.
That's definitely fair. It's, even if it's just for the audience, in a sense, it's still a family-oriented thing. Alcohol don't have to be sold at everything. And
I've had family member, cousins and what, they just, we talking about it, and it's like, but you can't just have a drink while watching it. I'm like, dude, 2 hours, I gave him like 2 hours, an hour and a half. If you can't go without that, so you got issue. You got some problems.
It is a problem. Yeah, if you can't go just 2 hours, it's true.
So that and I feel like it would help avoid a lot of confusion too.
Definitely.
You be more locked in and focused. So when it comes to that, just how to carry out yourself. Like people always say, well, PSA, you see how they come out, they got overalls, the uniforms, everything like that. But I'm trying to create the atmosphere of how it is in the U.S., in Europe.
Just as how you were afforded the opportunity to go through that basketball academy.
Exactly. Because the truth of the matter is, not everybody going to be fortunate to leave the island. But if you could create that type of atmosphere in regards to, hey, there's a void that is missing, has needed so much. We think about with gang violence, because growing up in St. Martin, I grew up there, it was real.
And bad.
Exactly. It was real. You live this certain area, you live there, it's a problem.
Yeah, you couldn't, and usually you would try not to say where you live, because just that alone puts you in problems, bro. But I can't control my parents.
But my thing is, I think that the children lost hope.
Yeah.
And I say lost hope because you talk to them, you talk to parents, and it's like, what's government doing?
Yeah, but it's
always that's the first thing they say.
Yeah, it has to be past that. It starts at home.
And I used to be like that person would be like, but this person ain't doing nothing, this person ain't doing. I'd be like, but what they doing? This person ain't doing, not per se government, but just what this sports person doing. Yeah. And then it just was like, well, I reached the age now, rather than complain,
gotta do something.
Just do something.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so it just started off in which, started off with a small group of kids, and it's funny how it started off because I used to go to Learn Unlimited just to work out because my cousin, he's a gym teacher there. So just to keep myself in shape, to go back overseas. And one day he was like, hey, you don't mind giving these young boys some tips and whatnot? So it ended up that they was working out with me. And it just started to transcend. It's like from working out to playing with each other. And then it was just like me taking like a backseat. And it's like, I started to feel bad because it was like, while working out, while me working myself out, you know, you focus on yourself and other things, but you're going to miss certain details of how certain players, their movement is. So then, you know, one day you just step aside and you just start looking at things, working on the details, and yeah.
And that's how you came about to, create
Performance Sports
Academy.
Yeah.
So that's. And how long have you been back on the island?
But I want to say what.
Were you here for Irma or after Irma?
I had left after Irma. Because I actually had get a job offer to go right after Irma, and I talking about like a week after, and I watched my when I walked through Middle Ridge and I see my grandmother roof gone from her house. Wow! So I couldn't.
Yeah,
I really couldn't. So I left like 2018. I wasn't here. So I was here for a little bit, then I left to go play. But yeah, that's how it ended. And then when I came back, it was almost the ending of 2018. And that's when it was more like, hey, I set off with a plan on what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
The masters. Because even like, you know, speaking to my mom, and she's like, everything all right? When I called her, I was like, you know, I want to come back home. And her first reaction was like, this is something that you've been doing from like, 13, 14 years old, all the time. You know, I know you love basketball. That's one thing, you know. And it was like, yeah, I got the plan. But she was concerned because she thought something happened to me out there. I was like, no. I just felt like I wanted to be around this forever.
Yeah.
I wanted to be around this, and I know that when it comes age, you know, you get older, you don't move as fast and stuff like that. True. So that's how that came about. Okay. And the craziest thing about that is when I decided to do the masters, the pandemic had hit, and I have like teammates, they were out of job. These is like, and love them to death. But these are guys that they had one more credit to graduate with associate. They left to play professionally. Others that had 6 credits, so 2 classes to graduate with their bachelors. They left school early. So it's like what you got to fall back on. So it's like it was real like eye opener.
Yeah.
You know, because and I just have these conversation with the kids, because it's like, listen, I got friends that most of them got kids right now. I don't have no kids, so if I want to leave tomorrow, I leave tomorrow, you know. But
the dynamic is definitely.
But I feel like if you got kids, you gotta have some sense of responsibility.
Yeah, and even with that, you know, indeed, education, as Malcolm X said, education is the key to the future. The future belongs to those who prepare for it today, and education plays a strong role with that. But we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with more.
Okay.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to the News Behind the News with Ralph Tab on Mix 94.7 FM. And this afternoon, I'm joined with Mr. Omar Beauperthuy, as we're here discussing his Performance Sports Academy, which is a basketball academy, basically. And, you know, talking about his journey and career, one that he has established quite some time back. having played college ball in the U.S., but even professionally as well, and now here back home on the island doing some great things. So one of the things I'm curious about, Omar, if you could share, like, in your younger years when you were playing, who were some of the players that you looked up to, and like, who were like your coaches and stuff, people that also made that investment in you,
all right,
gave you that guidance and stuff.
Okay, so growing up, honestly, I would say that when it comes to coaches on the island, I probably had the all-star selection of coaches, because I had Mini from Middle Region, in which conditioning-wise, ain't nobody competing with him conditioning-wise. I had also Lenny Marlin. I had also Garden St. Louis. And those three. And also, can't forget Siegfried Hodge, because Siegfried would take time out, hey, come by, I'll work you out. So it's like those little things, you appreciate those things with them, like taking time out, so that he was like, okay, well, if he could have took time out to do it for me when he was an adult, why not me doing it for, the other generation? I had Garden and Lenny for Kingdom Games and St. Martin, national team stuff. And then Minnie Richardson, he was, my district coach for basically the cadet level, and then also the B class and A class level also. So those are the four that really, stand out, with things.
Nice.
Now, and I appreciate them. I think that the biggest thing for me, and I tell the kids them now, I said, the stuff that you learning now, I had no clue about, because it was more like, okay, do this, do that. But it was never a reason why you should dribble with your left hand on the left hand side, because it's your outer arm. You dribble with your outer hand. If you dribble with your right hand, the defender is right there. It's more likely that the person could steal the ball away. So all those things, I like to have these critical thinking moments with the kids, so they could think for themselves, so they can understand it's a purpose for everything.
Technique.
Yeah, that exactly.
Nice. Now, does it make a huge difference whether you're left or right-handed? No.
Nah.
Okay.
It really don't matter.
Okay.
If you go hoop, you go hoop. That's
Okay.
the biggest thing.
All right. Now, so for the many times that you would come back home and stuff, as you mentioned, it would often be that you would be training and stuff.
Vacation to see family.
But now, you're predominantly, literally, basically every day working with youth.
7 days a week.
And whatnot. And so one of the things I'm curious about, if you could share your take on the conditions of the court. Like where do you play? What is the conditions of the court like? How can we get better work done, on the field itself, so that...
Okay, so two things. I can explain you about the condition, and I explain you about me coming back and forth. When I was in college, coming back home to train. First thing, when I was traveling, coming back, right? Now, while coming back home, one night, I saw a young man, lanky young man, out on the court. And he was like, you want to play basketball? He's like, I'm not that good. I said, but I asked you that. How old are you? And from just seeing that young man, I made a call to one of my former coaches. And that young man became a Division I player. And he's still in college, going into his senior year. And I feel like they have so much talent on the island. Just like I could say that I'm blessed that everyone that has come to me, I didn't have to do no promotion or anything like that. It was just via word of mouth. The team that I have from last year, the core group to this group, everyone heard from somebody. And like I tell people, you live on a small island.
Yeah.
If you do a bad job, you go here. But if you're doing something good, then you can get a good feedback. So in regards of like the conditions, started off using started off with LU, training kids, and it was good. It was great actually, but because of the pandemic, and then we weren't allowed to use the gym, safety reasons. Ended up reaching out to one of my old teachers from elementary school.
Nice.
And she basically allowed me to use the gym where we train now in Mill Region.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, Sister Mary Lawrence School, because that's where I went to school at.
Yes.
Ideally, the court is not the best court, but we make it happen. To this day, I could say and tell you, well, hey, from that little court, most likely we have in total from last year to this year now, about 22 kids going to school in the U.S.
Nice.
So imagine if
that's nice.
We have a full court.
Yeah.
With multiple rims. You can train more kids. But I also feel that, I believe in quality. So I'm not going to have 30 kids out there. The most I'd have is like 15. The most. And that's pushing it. Most of the time it's like 10 to 12 kids. But yeah, the condition where we got like a dead spot on the court, certain areas. We're playing with rims that are 2 inches lower. Don't even have a full-size backboard. And like I said, I ain't complaining. I'm happy. The kids, I'm happy because, and at first it was, to me, when it started off, it was more of, doing something that you love. And then after, you got parents coming up to you, hey, it's hard to raise boy kids. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, because
get them active.
Have them active. You're giving them something to do. Even with the female players, the parents is like,
yeah, because you train both.
Yeah. To me, is opportunity. It's an opportunity, and my biggest thing is to get, really looking forward to getting a female basketball team. I think is opportunities for everybody.
True, because basketball has always been male dominated, but now you definitely see a bigger push for women as well. Because even one of the things that has that went viral in an extent was the battle with the U.S. women soccer team. I say soccer, but football.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And the fact that they were not being compensated like the men, although their team has been playing way better than the U.S. men, for example, in terms of football. So definitely that's good, because as well it's a move that brings everybody out. And I think that is also the key. Like the same way you hear stories about way back in the day when St. Martin, when people used to play baseball, the whole community used to come out and stuff. That's what you're looking, that it is just customary for us to support each other, to come out and
we need that.
Boost each other.
We need that type of buzz. And like I say, if the kids them could see that there is avenues for them, again, I could honestly say that we're gonna have less crime when you say gang violence, all this thing, because right now these kids just trying to figure out themselves, find themselves out, who they are, and it's like, hey, if I do this and get in trouble, I ain't gonna do it. Why gonna waste my opportunity?
And then you can show them the result. What happens if you commit to a life of negativity, violence, and stuff.
Yeah.
It doesn't end well. Opposed to, you have an opportunity to have a good life.
Yeah, I do.
Playing sports or doing something academic or whatever it is. But
I do think that
something
they need like that cultural shock in which, hey, you get a team, you take them to another country. So, and I ain't talking about, like, again, no offense to our sister islands and stuff. Now, we want them in a different country where they could see a difference. Not that something that they could relate to.
Yeah.
To see, I remember leaving to go to the U.S. and to me it was like from being tense all the time to it's just like a more calm, because you realize that, hey, nobody trying to be a bad person. I said, like, what it is that in the U.S., everybody trying to become a sports player. Okay, everybody want to become a bad man. I'm being honest, this is, if you drive, I know you probably wake up in the morning, you driving, you see in school churning out in the morning, the face push up is like they in the mirror all day practicing this facial expression, like they gonna scare somebody. You know, that
rejection, you know, they said they're putting up this and insecurity, they're putting up this false this mask basically, you know, to kind of keep people away so they don't experience more hurt. And it's, yeah, I get what you're saying for real.
So like, and being that a person in which, like I said, growing up, I used to hang out where you sit on the block, you know, like, and what we used to call a block, just sitting on the roadside, chilling, you seen cars passing until it was time for, you know, basketball, you know, and be on the court. But basketball always has been like a gateway for me. If stress, any type of issue, just shoot. To this day, like if somebody with me, I go and court, I'm gonna shoot around, put in my AirPods, shoot, clear my mind. Or even if I want to plan things, just afterwards I'll jot down the notes on my phone and I'll be fine.
It's therapeutic, basically.
Correct. You know, this is something that I just to say pretend about. Like I always tell people, I say, okay, we got like some weird dynamics in regards to Christmas time. Everything closed down. The rest of the world, things don't close down. Carnival time, things close. Like that, our customer training during Carnival time too. So, my thing is, hey, if you want to go walk up, you better come practice. Plain and simple. But it's very simple.
I hear you, man.
no, but it's honestly, because it's like, my thing is, like, and I just always preach this to the players them. From the time you walk through the door, that 2 hours of practice, this is business.
Yeah, no joking around.
You take care of business, you can do whatever you want afterwards. Do whatever you want to do afterwards. But then you come in there as business. Everybody got a goal on where they want to go, where they want to be. So we got to set goals and we got to accomplish these things.
Yeah.
So, of course, you know, starting off, I could say with PSA, you know, the first group I probably had for 2.5, 3 years. So they was more molded, they understood. Like, we trained Christmas Day, you know, and really and truly I didn't have no plans for that. It was me just, customer training kids. Christmas Day I wanted to just go in there, shoot around. I wasn't... One kid, yeah, he wanted to come, cool. But like in this group, because you just get them, you know, within a couple months, or some I had like for a year, it was just like you gotta invest in them the same, you know, the same culture on what you want to do with life. You know, and the same thing pertains to, I think, discipline from high school to college. You know, getting up early, when your schedule is basically mapped out from 6 o'clock till 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
You know, people will be like...
On the ball.
They're like, oh, but I don't think I could do that. But then I don't think that this is for you. You know, you can't pick and choose. You know, this is something that you're trying to get through to the kids and also to the parents. You can't just say, well... no, he look a little tired. No, because they can have days. If he's away and he's tired, he still got to push through.
Yep.
Because I could tell you, go coach, and I always say to them, your parents you could lose your scholarship. Mommy, daddy, granny, they could call coach crying, begging. That's it. Over there, like, consider down here, we do it more sports-wise, it's more recreationally. Up there, this is people's livelihood.
Yes.
How they feed their families. So, especially when somebody comes to me want to go somewhere, it's like, hey, I got to be honest with you. I got to say, well, I think you have that potential, or no, I don't think, you know, because sometimes you get kids there that are, I'll say, undersized, it'll be like 19, 20-year-old. You can't lay the ball up with your left hand, for example. But you know, the parent will come and say, well, you think you get my child a scholarship? It don't work like that. It don't work. And especially in this business, credibility is everything. Yeah. Because if I vouch for you, and if it ain't like what it's supposed to be, then it put a hamper on me getting any other kid.
Yeah, the opportunity.
Yeah. So I have to be honest.
So even with that, I know saw on Facebook, you had some students who were able to go away and got a scholarship and whatnot. Can you share some more on that as well, please?
The recent ones?
Yeah.
Okay. Still basically putting up even today throughout the whole week. Pretty much how that comes about, in which, like you say, we don't do American football out here. So, but the thing is, if I see how you play on the basketball court, if I see it's physical, and I realize that, yeah, you could send kids away for basketball, but the goal for me is not just playing it high school wise, and not even just playing a sport. Is for you obtaining a degree, a college education. So I want you to play a sport that it's easier for you to translate to, and be able for you that when it's said and done, you have an opportunity to get into college. It releases the burden from off the parents. So with schools wise, these schools that basically like develop relationships from where, some of my friends, them that, like I said, they're either playing professionally still or they're coaching now. So, and when I say depending, they know how I've been within this, so they take my word on stuff. So I could call and say, well, hey, this person, I think you should take a look at this person.
Yeah.
Or even the one thing that I suggest every association to do, organization, record film of a game, because is in which I could try sell something to somebody, but they need to see. So all our games, all our games, they go up on our YouTube channel. And that came about simply from you try to record a game via your phone, and then you realize by sending this via WhatsApp, it's gonna take a minute.
Chop the quality too.
Yeah, so it was multiple coaches can see, and how we creating these opportunities for kids.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And can you also detail then, as far as, on an average day when the children come in and getting ready to be trained and stuff, what is that like? Can you share your day? What is your coaching method and the regimen that they go through?
Average day for me, like let's say during let's say January, so because right now, like I told them, I said I got some older guys who's working out, who's done already complete high school, who want to get a shot to overseas to play professionally. For the school kids, they know already, I don't want to see them in this week. I don't want to see nobody in this week. Exams coming up, we're not going to play with that at all. I was glad that last year we had, playing on a friend side. I appreciate that they allowed us to play over there. But there was a little issue because the playoffs was basically a week before exams. I had a problem with that. So honestly, I threatened them. I was like, hey, I'll just pull the team out. And they're like, no, you can't. I said, no, but this is what I'm not doing this. This is not a purpose.
You don't want to set a bad precedent.
It ain't even a bad precedent. I know how it is. Like I said, I went to school academy.
Yeah.
Compared to the education system in the U.S., down here, you got to study like 2-3 weeks in advance.
Yeah.
So
it's not just a breeze.
Yeah. So I just wanted them to focus more on that. Like, to me, when you sign up to PSA, it's two things we take care of. Work in a classroom and on the court. So, like for a kid that signs up with me, sign up a contract with a parent, as a spot for where the parent got to sign and the kid to sign. And they got to understand that every month, everybody got a smartphone. I want a screenshot of your grades. I want a screenshot of your grades. So if you don't do what you're supposed to do, first time we're going to run. Probably run the life out of you. But second time, hey, don't come. Look, can refund you back, don't come. Because...
And I'm sure that you also made that very clear with the parents.
Yeah. And the parents would be shocked, like, really? I said, no. I said,
you have to maintain your strictness.
I said, because up there, if you're in high school, you gotta maintain what 2.5 GPA to be able to play, and that's like a C.
Yeah, that's too easy.
when I was up there, like, you needed what 2.0.
Much less.
Yeah, exactly. So like even in college, you need a 2.0 from junior college to Division 1 is 2.0. Now it's changed to 2.5. I remember speaking to a coach on Division 1 school. He's like, son, what's your GPA? I was like, 3.3. He said, no, not for the semester, talking overall. I check it. It's not very disrespectful, you know. Very disrespectful.
Yeah, because even TV just give you this basically the stereotype of a just a dumb athlete, like just shut up and dribble, that type of mentality.
And the thing is, as an athlete, I've seen it. Like I said, I've seen the good, bad, and ugly. Where you seen kids where they come to class, they don't do no work, and they expect, But if you just apply yourself, that's one thing I applaud them for out there. If you're struggling with something, they will say, hey, look, this is extra work. It's a lot of work. But if you do it, it helps bring up your grades, change a whole lot of grades. No, but the teacher itself, they're willing to, they want to see that you're doing the work. In contrast with down here, it's like, okay, you do a test, you fail a test, there's nothing else to bring that up. Up there, they give you the extra work. Now it's up to you if you want to do it. Like, I was in class and one of the kids, a teammate he was from a different sport. And this guy had like a D. I got a B plus in the class. I doing the extra credit. I needed to do it, but it was just like, you just apply yourself. Rather than wait until it just pile up on you, everything just knock out a piece.
Yeah.
And that was it. Yeah. Like one of my classes that I struggled with badly, algebra. I can't. I good with accounting, but this Y MX equals B, I still don't know where I'm going to use it in life. I still don't know. But in regards to my schedule with the kids, the under 15 group comes in at 4. So we go from 4 to 6. And then the under 17 group, 17, 18 group, they come in from 6 to 8. And then I got another group come in afterwards, some older boys. They go from 8 to like 9:45.
Cool.
So this is just
a tight regimen.
Yeah, this is like every day. In regards to the training methods, it's most, like I said, focus on the fundamental aspect. Also, in regards to plyometric training, working on explosive bursts and everything like that. And then just basically like you teaching the game. Sometimes, like you mentioned, teaching methods, you notice and I'm still learning every day. So, how to say, I might be able to speak to you to get my message across like that, and then you could interpret it, you can understand it. Some kids might have to, they prefer you speak a little bit more. I've had kids come to me and say, Coach, today, like, you could talk a little bit more, like, aggressive, This during a game, we don't say we're a customer here, and you be more in our face, aggressive. I think that's where we come out, come out a little sad, like, okay, no problem. But like I said, different strokes for different folks. So to me, it's just finding out ways, and especially during practice or during game. The good thing about game film is being able to, I'll come in there with a projector, put up on the wall, watching the game, and be like, you remember you say you was there? Yeah, but I was there. Okay, let me rewind. You was there? You was there? Yeah. Okay, let me watch. No, I wasn't there. No, you could see, but I used to be like that too. Mm-hmm. I started watching film in prep year, college, mostly in college. So these kids getting to see this, they getting this at an earlier age, so they could see, well, hey, this what I need to work on.
Correct.
That what I need to work on. So we highlight those things, and then we're able to just correct mistakes.
Correct. Mm-hmm. So in terms of your basically association, it's only you for now, right? Or do you have assistant and whatnot? And do you plan to also go to the point where it's indeed with sports, the other sports
that's the thing. When creating this name, so it was like, what to do, thinking about it here. And then it just was like, Performance Basketball Academy. And then it was like, I wanted a wider, not just a microscope on just basketball, but eventually expand to different sports.
Gotcha.
Because again, the more kids we could get off the island, it can inspire the other generation. I'm pretty sure that the kids that are leaving now, who are their respective families or just friends, they're like, okay, I want to do that too.
Yeah.
I want to do this, so definitely want to expand.
There's a lot in the name, huh?
Yeah. So,
sure.
In regards of coaches, for sure, actually have a former national team coach from Holland. He's coming down on the 28th to the 14th of 20th of June to the 14th of July.
Okay.
And when he came down here, he said to me, just meeting him, he said, but you know what you're doing. And second thing, he said, but I'm surprised you're still here on the island. Said people like you with information don't normally stay. I said, yeah, I do understand that. I said, but you want better things. You want better things on the island because at the end,
it's your home.
Was the eye opener was after Hurricane Irma, in regards to everybody that saw, everybody who experienced Irma would be like, yeah, I love St. Martin, but after Irma, you love St. Martin so much, you were gone. I was here for the whole thing. So I told them, I said, what we need on the island, we need coaching clinics. Like you said, referee, this is stuff that I've been speaking about, because it can't be a one-man job.
Correct.
In order for us to be up to par, up to standard, we still lose referee games. They still referee games with just 2 people. Where FIBA is 3. You can do it with 2. But we need, friend side is establishing themselves. Dot side, we need to start doing the same also.
Understood.
Yeah.
So, man, I'd like to thank you so much for enlightening us with all this information.
I appreciate you having me.
The work that you're doing. To our viewers and listeners as well, I really hope that that this was a very insightful and engaging conversation. But as well as before we go, one more thing: people want to reach you. How can they?
They could reach me via my cell number 526-0753, and also you could contact me via the social media pages, some IGN and on Facebook with Performance Sports Academy.
Gotcha. All right, folks, so there you have it. Thank you so much for listening to us. Join us on today's program, and be sure to tune in again tomorrow. Goodbye.